Let's go over this one more time. And this is Emmitt Smith on the not to need to go get Ashton Jeanty.
Comes to the Cowboys right now, he's going to get beat up. I don't think we're ready. We don't have the right mindset. We don't have the right commitments. I just talked about commitments and being disaligned. I think we're drafting exciting pieces. Back to your point earlier about winning. Exciting pieces that would get fans, oh, we got Ashton Jeanty. Oh, we're going to be able to run the ball. Okay. You're trying to tell me Ezekiel Elliott and Rico Dowdle could not carry their team?
Let's pause it right here. All right, so first and foremost, I get what Emmitt Smith is talking about, and I get the whole notion of Ezekiel Elliott and Rico Dowdle. Here's the only problem. We don't have Mike Solari nor Jeff Blasco here. We absolutely have now Derek Foster, who will be the running back coach, and as well as Clayton Adams, who will be your quote-unquote offensive line guy. So two different worlds, two different philosophies, and we all know that Jeanty, that's what he do. He runs the ball. So this is going to be a complete different team from what it was last year, and especially the approach on the game is going to be completely different from what we did last season as well. But let's finish it out.
No. There was no commitment to run the football. And when there was a commitment, when Dak Prescott went down, Rico ran the ball well. So don't tell me we can't run the football. Dak went down. They shifted from Cooper Kupp, well, not Cooper Kupp, but Cooper Rush. It brought his passes down and created more runs for the running game. And then you start having this level of balance and start to show some kind of consistency. Need to do that the whole entire year. That's the formula that I'm talking about.
No doubt, no doubt. So the formula to run the ball, shift it, and be more balanced. Well, I think that the strength of schedule during the back end of the schedule differently too. We're not talking about we're playing Carolinas for 2 or 3 games, right? And we're playing the Bengals, who was a porous defense. The Buccaneers, their defense wasn't really nothing to stream and shot at, right? I'm not using these as reasons why the run game picked up, but let's be real. The gauntlet of the schedule was on the front end of the schedule, right? So I'm looking at all of those things to also quantify the fact that we also had Mike McCarthy without a real tangible running situation. In his entirety of his coaching situation as far as his career, he never was run the ball. He talked about running the ball, but it was never running the ball with a purpose. It was never run the ball to set up the pass. It was always, hey, it's A gap, you're going to run A gap. B gap, you run B gap. You behind Tyler Smith, let's get behind him. If you behind Terrence Steele or Cooper Beebe, let's get behind him. There was not pin to pull. There was not stretch zone runs. There were not inside zone runs. So that's why you had a very vanilla approach to this run game, right? So those are the things that I'm looking at when we start talking about what this team looked like last season. Now, granted, shout out to Emmitt Smith, gold jacket wearing, guy, and he did phenomenal things for the Cowboys. But there's a reason why analysts are analysts, right? And there's a reason why football players who played the game, they played the game, and not all of them are analysts, or they can break down the game. And I'm not saying that I'm better than him, but what we're bringing to the facts are the complete picture of it all. All right, that's all we're saying.
And so quit trying to do what everyone else is doing in the National Football League. Your quarterback is not Patrick Mahomes.
Facts.
He's not Josh Allen.
Facts.
He's not Joe Burrows. He's
Burrows.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, he's Dak Prescott. So with that being said, you have to do things that he's equipped for him. You got to do things that is equipped for him. But neither here nor there. There is a video from Clarence talking to Ashton Jeanty and how he likes to pair himself up in the National Football League of who he said that he would like to pattern his game with and these sorts of things. And what do you know? What do you know? Let's listen to it right quick.
If you had to describe your game, how would you describe it? Who do you say is it similar to?
Well, everybody as of lately has been saying, I'm a more explosive Emmitt Smith.
Right.
So I'm going to go with that.
More explosive Emmitt Smith. Hey, the all-time leading rusher.
Come on.
People say no one's ever gonna break their rush time. Maybe it's you.
Hey, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's in my favor.
If you had to
Yeah,
describe your
yeah,
game,
yeah.
how would you describe it? Who do you say is it similar to?
Well, everybody as of lately has been saying, I'm a more explosive Emmitt Smith.
Had to hit that twice. Yeah. So yeah, that's who Ashton Jeanty is. He's a more explosive Emmitt, right? And Emmitt had some juke moves back in the days as well. And Emmitt was phenomenal. And I'm not saying that Jeanty will be Emmitt, but what I'm saying is collectively, if you look at the total bodies of work and you look at what both of these boys will bring, or well, what Ashton Jeanty will bring, it's run game. Now, here's my thoughts on this. If this running back class is the way it says, or if this running back class deep like everyone is lamenting, what's wrong with double dipping? I don't see, outside of Ted, Abdul Carter, to a degree, Will Campbell, and that's the offensive lineman. Not many or Luther Burden maybe, if you depending on your draft board, that you pass up on Ashton Jeanty. And to me, I'm not drafting Luther Burden over Ashton Jeanty. I'm drafting Jeanty, and then I'm going back in the latter rounds and drafting another running back. If this running back class is where it's supposed to be at, then it'll be no problems double dipping. I know we got a lot of holes on this team. We got holes. We got holes on pretty much every spot. It's an argument that we can make. It's an argument we can make. But the Cowboys got to restructure some contracts, figure out a way to get some moves to be filled in via the free agency or trade acquisition before you go into this draft. You're not finna find 10 starters. You will be lucky if you find 3. It's a stretch to find 3 starters that's going to make a dynamic impact, and those are rookie impacts with growing pains. So you're looking at 1 or 2 starters out of any draft. Cowboy Nation, don't screw this up. Don't overanalyze and overthink this. BPA all day. Even twice on Sunday. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Let's get it. Salute to Emmitt Smith, the great 22.